So, Suni, we talked about these challenges
Yes.
and everything, but we had an opportunity to kind of learn some things, right? And we put some things in place. So, what do you think are some things that you put in place that have been beneficial for you as a parent and also for our children?
I guess I got to think about what we've done or implemented that have been beneficial to our children on this journey. I guess one of the things I would say has been to focus on purpose and not praise.
Okay.
You know, teaching them to listen and know the voice of God. I remember one time with our oldest telling him, you know, it's not about mom and daddy, it's about God. But you have to listen. The more you listen to God's voice, the clearer it is, the louder it is, right? And so not about what everybody else is doing but are you pleasing God? If you please God, ultimately you're going to please us and everybody else that really matters, that really loves you.
Right.
So really teaching them that, because if nothing else, if they please God and they're focused on intentionally pleasing Him, they're going to be fine. You know? And so that was one of the things, and teach them to know God.
Right.
You know, to know who He is and who He is to you, and how He's showing, how God has shown up for us as a family was important. Because everything else falls into place if they do that.
Sure.
And so that was important, and letting consequences teach them. Like, you know, sometimes as parents we want to put on this cape.
Sure.
You may have a bad day, or a teacher says something to them, and we want to fly in and swoop in and save them from it all, and that doesn't benefit them.
Right.
You know, there are such things as natural consequences in letting them experience.
Unless the teacher is wrong.
Now, if the teacher's wrong, that's different. But the
Right.
thing is that if I come to that school,
But it's not their job to tell the teacher that
right.
they're wrong. Yeah.
That's why you have two parents, and that's important for them to be able to trust us, that if they tell us something, we're going to show up.
Right.
But now if I come to the school and it's different than what you told me,
Right.
then that's going to be another conversation. And I think, and that's true, but it's real.
Yeah,
you know, I think that for them to understand that there are natural consequences. If you didn't do the work and you received a bad grade, know that the consequence in the house is a C, no TV, no electronics.
Right.
And they know that. And so it's no reason for me to go talk to the teacher. You need to talk to the teacher, because that's your teacher. That's where you is.
Right.
That's where you are. That's who you're with every day.
Right.
And so I think that's one of the things that has helped them, because now that's carried over. When we went to COVID, they were at home. We had to work. But they were responsible for their schoolwork and to do what they were supposed to do.
Right.
And they did that.
They did.
And so I think but that started early on. You know, so having those systems and things like that in place, and then knowing that if they made a choice, there's a consequence. You make a good choice, good consequences. You make a bad choice, bad consequences.
Right.
So it behooves you to pick a good one, right? The last one, prioritizing the connection over them being perfect.
Okay.
Like connecting with us as a family, right? And that in this family, I don't care what it is, your daddy and we here for you, right? So you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to put on this facade for us.
Right.
You can be real and authentic, because we're real and authentic. So we laugh together, we have fun, you know, we play spades together. You know, I'm the best spades person in the family.
She says she taught me, guys.
I did teach him how to play, and all the children. But those types of things, that it's important. And that when we have to discipline you, it is not because we're being punitive.
Right.
It's because it's to help you grow and be better people. To be who you're meant to be. Because children are nothing but little young humans. And if we don't do our part as parents, as a village, as family, to groom them and to grow them and to rear them, they're going to end up being little young, big, not little young, but big humans without being able to be socially, emotionally adjusted, not being academically where they're supposed to be, not having self-discipline, and that's not what we want. So we are a family, we are a community, we work together. However, if there's things that we all need to change on, there's nothing wrong with you coming to tell me and your daddy.
Right.
You know, if there's like mama, daddy, there's a time and there's a way. So make sure you put some respect on it. But you're more than welcome to come have a conversation with us. So those are the three things that I learned on our parenting journey that I think that has been beneficial, that we still can stay connected as a family, although our oldest, he's living on his own now.
Sure.
To still have that time together.
But he still comes.
Yes, he calls us his advisors. We're his advisors. When we'll get paid for it now.
Right.
We'll get paid for it. So Oscar, what are three things that you've done or implemented or spearheaded, right? Mm-hmm. That you feel has been beneficial to our children and our household?
Well, one thing I can say that I feel has been very beneficial is taking all the good things that I did talk about from my upbringing and bringing that into our parenting journey.
Got it.
Right? Like my father instilled good work ethic. Right? It wasn't an option. I told you we're probably working too much.
Yeah, I think we both did.
Taught us to love and honor God. Like that was not an option in our family, right? We wasn't out there wilding out.
And it wasn't, are you going to church this morning?
No, guys, let's get ready to go to church. And we would go to church from, you guys, some of y'all can remember this, probably 9 to 7.
7, 8 o'clock at night.
And the third thing, it was just the importance of family.
Yeah.
Right. So these things, I've purposefully made sure that I didn't lose those things, bringing those things into our family. And these things have paid off and paid major dividends for us and all of our children. Our children are in a lot of ways self-sufficient, very independent. They don't give us a lot of problems. They have relationships with God. They have relationships, good relationships, healthy relationships with each other, with us as their parents, their grandparents, their aunts, uncles, their cousins. All of that I think is very important. So that was that to me, that'd be the first major benefit or thing that I felt like coming into our parenting journey that I wanted to make sure I instilled. The second one, I would say discipline. And I'm not talking about physical discipline.
Right.
I'm talking about discipline that a person has to complete what you started.
Yes.
Like when things get hard, put your head down and complete it. Like that's, because if you started something, it must have been important enough for you to finish it.
Right.
And I'm saying like this discipline thing impacts us in so many ways in life, in our diet, in our nutrition, in our jobs, in our relationships. Like when things get hard in our relationships, it's time to pack up and go. Well, no, when you are a husband, a father, or a wife, a mother, you can't just pack up and go. No. But that comes because nobody ever taught you discipline. So we never let our kids quit. No, you wanted to play football?
You're going to play.
And we done bought those pads and put that $200 down.
You gonna finish this season.
Hey, we playing for the whole season, homie.
Hey, you go practice. Now, if
you said you wanted to play.
I don't care how you do it.
Chrissy said she wanted to play soccer. Oh, okay. Are you sure you want to play soccer?
It's hot.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we went and got the nice soccer uniform, ball, the nice shoes, the little shin pads, all that stuff.
Piano.
Yeah, piano lessons, and they want to quit. No, you got to stick with it.
Yeah.
Because in life, we have to stick with things. And that was one thing I would say that, I definitely got from my father. There's no quit in me, and I won't allow it in my family. We're going to see things through to completion. And I would say a third one is letting my children know me. That's one of the things that I would say. Me and my father, we had a good relationship, but there's still things that I'm still literally learning about my father.
Yeah.
Right? So I sit down and, as you know, I have a lot of conversations with my children. I tell them what's on my mind. Guys, men out here, they don't expect your wife and your children to read your mind. If we feel in a certain way about something, we have to go and be comfortable enough and say, hey, Sonny, I didn't appreciate that, or I did appreciate that, right? It doesn't have to even be a bad thing. Or, if you feel like your children didn't treat you a certain way that you deserve, for example, you go tell them. Right. They're not just going to know by osmosis that you feel a certain way. So, being able to communicate with my children as Oscar, like I'm Oscar Combs Jr., their father, but I'm also just Oscar Combs Jr. Like them to get to know me as a person, right, and not just as an authority figure. Because if our children only see us, which we are, let's don't get that twisted, okay? I want to be clear that I'm father first. And I don't put that role to the side ever. I'm not there to be their friend, or I'm more important than your friend. I'm sacrificing more than your friend. Your friend is going to be gone. Me and your mom, we're going to be here. Exactly. When in the bad times, good times. So I would say I'm more important than your friends. Parents, friends, like way down there, in my opinion.
That's real, though.
It is real. So I'm not really striving to be their friend per se, but I want them to just know me as a person.
And you know them.
And of course, that's why I spend time. And how do they get to know us? We have to spend that time.
Yeah.
We got to spend that time, whether we're going, just sitting at the table. You don't have to spend money to spend time, guys. Spend it a lot of times as fathers, we think, let's take them out or take them to an event. Well, if you're at an event, you're not talking and getting to know each other, right? So, to me, these things were very important.
Yes.
Take a moment, hit the notification button so that you can be notified on our next video. So, you're going to tell them what it is?
Our next video.
No, you're not supposed to tell them. It's a cliffhanger.
You didn't tell me I wasn't supposed to tell them.
So she's not going to be able to tell you guys on the next video. You're going to hit the notification so you can know about the next video. So remember, guys, parenting is a lot easier when it's done on mission. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye now.
Bye.